General Langley, good to see you again. And thank you for being here. As you know, I recently returned from a bipartisan CODEL to Africa, where I had the opportunity to travel across the continent to Niger, Zambia, South Africa, Morocco, Botswana, Cote d'Ivoire, and had conversations with a lot of experts, senior leaders on a wide variety of topics that we care about, including food security, conservation efforts, critical minerals, and defense. And while we, the United States, is doing a lot of great work across the continent, I worry that it's not well known that we're providing this. At the same time, it's clear that China and Russia have a lot of influence in Africa. And this concerns me a lot, and I know it does concern you too. I mean, Africa has strategic importance to us for a number of reasons, including that many critical minerals that our defense industry requires are mined in Africa. And this is something that China knows, and they have begun to exploit. You know, last year, Senator Cotton and I introduced the Reshore Act to reduce our reliance on China for these critical minerals. But the important work on securing U.S. supply chains need to continue. So, General Langley, what are you seeing in Africa with respect to China's mining activities and their infrastructure development?
First of all, Senator, thanks for that question, and thank you for going on the CODEL, as I saw in Munich and when you were on your way down there. That really matters. That shows those are assurance actions of our nation's leadership going on to the continent, and thank you for that. And it pressurizes and it makes causes hesitation in countries that are thinking about picking the PRC or even Russia as their partner of choice, because those are the assurance actions that matter and resonate. Yes, I agree. We're not telling our story well enough, and that's why when the CODEL came through right after I took command on their way to the continent, they asked what was being done on the continent. Show us. We know what the PRC is doing, their investments. Just show us what we do, and that's why I provided the blue map, just to show our investments. So all that falls into collectively across our whole of government approach as I engage across the interagency and also State Department and USAID, how we can be able to coalesce this into actions that resonate.
General, can you talk a little bit about what China's doing and how it's impacting countries that we have had relationships with? I don't want to, lead you into, but I'm really interested in the negative impact that China's mining and infrastructure activities have had on the continent.
Yes, Senator. So yes, as I also provided the foreign active reliance on African mineral stores, and that is a very compelling story. So for economic reasons, and also how they go about striking deals with some of the countries on some of our critical assets for not only for our rare earth minerals that feed into our clean energy, but also into the military side as far as our high technical type of arsenal and equipment. China is trying to harvest that. So as they're engaging with countries, laid out on the slide, the last slide that we have on the critical reliance on foreign minerals. This is our new economy. This is going to be in big demand as we start to modernize our forces, and China realizes that. So those are actions they're trying to take on the illustrated countries that we have highlighted on here. So yes, it is a strategic consequence that we need to be able to face and turn to these countries to ensure that they're the partner of the choice.
General, how do we do a better job telling our story? Because you got China in there making bad deals, building bad infrastructure. This isn't good for, the African nations. At the same time, the Russians have Wagner in there supporting, essentially, terrorism. What can we do to better tell our story on the African continent?
Center, illuminate, and amplify. I saw a good story this morning in the press about the Kenyans have gone to the street, tired of some of the stuff that the PRC is doing for them, how they're taking advantage of their economy and taking advantage of their environment. News stories like that resonate. They change ideas. I guarantee you the rest, if it happened in Kenya, it's happening all across the continent of Africa, and people read these stories and it resonates. People are taking action.